We're going to be driven by the science, the data, and public health.
And that means we have to take the next steps on scientific advice.
And of course, we will be relying, as ever, on the science to inform us, as we have from the beginning.
Science, scientists, scientific advice, all around the world, following the science is considered to be of paramount importance right now. You may well agree that following the science is the way to go. Many people today consider themselves to be people whose view of the world has a scientific basis. Science is all about spotting patterns in the world around us, suggesting why such patterns exist, and looking for evidence to support or counter our ideas. It seems sensible to approach life with a scientific mindset, but there are two big problems with looking to science to provide the answers for everything. Firstly, science does not encompass every area of our lives. Science can tell us how, but it cannot tell us why. It can describe, but it cannot explain. If I observe someone's kettle boiling, I can tell you how the water is boiling, but I cannot tell you why. It could be for a cup of tea, but it could be that the boiler's broken and hot water is required for the washing up. So science cannot give us reasons for things happening, nor does it include the breadth of our experiences. There are many facets of our lives, history, philosophy, the arts and languages, which do not fall under the category of science. There's much more to life than science. Secondly, science provides evidence, but evidence is not absolute proof, and not everything that's worthwhile in life is provable. The love of someone close to you, or your existence, are not provable. We simply believe these things to be true and act accordingly because of the weight of evidence. Take friendship. I cannot prove that someone will continue to be a good friend in the future, but the longer we support one another, the more I can be confident that they will go on being a good friend. Many people believe that religious faith is unreasonable because they think it isn't based on any evidence. Well, the natural sciences neither prove nor disprove the existence of God, because that is beyond the remit of science. However, if God does exist, then we would expect the evidence we gain from science to allow for that possibility and to point towards the existence of God. The world in which we live is astonishingly complex and exact. Our world is the way it is because of constants, set numbers which we can observe and measure in physics. If they were fractionally different, life would not exist. At every level, nature shows evidence of design. There are certain biological structures and systems which cannot have been brought into existence by a series of small modifications. If they were less complex, then the whole thing wouldn't function. It's not proof on its own, but it's part of a body of evidence. So, do Christians follow the science? Well, if following science means acting on evidence, then yes, because just as science is reasonable, so is faith. Science is not in conflict with faith. Rather, the conflict is between two worldviews, belief in God and denying the existence of God. Everyone has faith. You adhere to a worldview that you believe to be true. But is it based on evidence? Many people believe that the existence of God is the conclusion that best fits the evidence that they see around them. And they don't just believe in God, but they believe that what God says about himself and his Son Jesus Christ is true. They have considered the evidence and acted on it.